is just that's just the archaic model. These days, we can build the trust, rapport, connection on the phone by just, as you say, give good phone to people. And as long as they trust you on the phone, there's no reason to be going traipsing around doing viewings on people's properties, and people talk about the body language and all that kind of stuff. And you can easily waste so much time going around people's houses, like traveling down. I mean, I know what it's like in America, everywhere's spread out. You can, from San Diego to wherever, the next district, it could probably take you half a day to get there. I mean, what markets do you actually operate in to do real estate, for example?
The real estate I love is residential. It's the easiest. We have the most of it. I'm a KISS method guy. I do it. I want to find the simplest way to do business. Everybody needs a place to live. We can do business as a realtor, as an investor, as a hybrid, a little of both, as a consultant in this business. There are many different ways. But I start with real estate. I began when I first started doing condos, little one-bedroom condos, mobile homes. We call them wobbly boxes here. Things like that. I eventually, I had a great mentor, by the way. Probably the one takeaway I love to share when I'm doing interviews like this is find yourself a mentor who is accountable to you. Not someone who just takes your money and hands you off to someone in a third world country who speaks bad English.
Sure.
Okay. I believe in that. I had a great mentor. He would pick up the phone and make more money in real estate in one phone call than I would make in a whole year in my corporate job. That's where I got real estate fever, and I worked for this man, and I learned about lease purchasing, which is still my favorite, or one of my favorite strategies. But I also learned from him the art and science of persuasion, how to speak to people in such a way that they like you, they trust you, they want to do business with you, and you blow away the competition. That was my. So I'm just telling your audience. Get yourself a mentor. Get somebody who has the right to teach, who is successful in their own right and is accountable to you, and of course, doing business honestly and ethically.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the key point as well. When we're doing these types of transactions, a lot of the sellers we speak to, I mean, there's various transactions we've got ongoing at the moment, and the backgrounds of the sellers. You've got to make sure you're putting these together fairly and ethically, because some people might see an opportunity to take advantage of people, and it's got to be fair and win-win for people to go into these transactions.
Oh, I love win-win as long as I win first.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's a good thing about what we do in middlemen as well, putting these transactions together. It's collecting a fee for introducing buyers and sellers, and also we take them ourselves. So do you invest in real estate as well? You've got your own portfolio, is that right?
Yeah.
Are you in Colorado as well? You live in Colorado as well, do you?
I live in San Diego. I have a house here that I bought. I have houses here for investment properties in my own home here. All free and clear, by the way. No mortgages, all paid off. I live and I love San Diego. I moved here from the East Coast. I'm originally from New York City. That's why I talk. That's why I talk a little bit like Rocky. You know what I'm saying? We also we live by Winter Park ski area in Colorado. We have a house at 10,000 feet above sea level. We love it out there, and we kind of go back and forth. We also spend time in North Carolina and in Hawaii. The lovely thing about this business is with the advent of the digital age, with a little iPad or an iPhone or whatever, I can do business anywhere. As you said earlier, I can look at a property on Google Earth. I can look. Sometimes when I'm speaking to a person who has a house for sale or for rent or whatever, while they're talking, I'll get their address and I'll actually be looking at the property, and I'll say, "Excuse me, sir, is that car on the milk carton still on the front lawn?" How did you know that?
Brilliant, yeah. Well, some of those Google images are quite out of date, so if it's got like an old car on it, might be changed now and things like that. Because we've done the same. Because we do deals internationally as well. You see, so
I love this business. I am passionate about it. I think it's a commodity. It's one of those things everybody has to live somewhere, whether it's an apartment their mother-in-law's attic, God forbid, or their own home or a box behind the Walmart. Okay,
Yeah.
here in California, there are people living in boxes behind the Walmart. It's so expensive here. Our real here in San Diego, our real estate starts. Condos start at $500,000. And it's very expensive here. Houses can go into the millions here in San Diego, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Very expensive on the west coast of America.
Yeah, I like San Diego and that whole west coast. It's got some beautiful places down there as well. And LA's very spread out. Everywhere's quite spread out in America, isn't it? All the a lot of the places and the suburbs and things like that. But
oh yeah, we got a great highway system here, or freeway we call it, and you can travel anywhere. It's very easy to get around. We don't have the public transportation as well as you guys do. We're working on that. But we're an independent kind of. We're still we're still the colonies in a lot of ways. We want that get in that car and go where you want to go when you want to go. Like the mentality.
You're not far from Tijuana, actually. I remember going over the border at Tijuana. It's not far. We crossed over at San Diego. I'm sure we did. Yeah.
I don't go to Tijuana. It's a little too dangerous, and they're building this little wall right now.
I've heard about that somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Great. So,
what do you guys think of our new crazy president and how he's going to affect real estate?
How long have you got?
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Well, we need quite a bit of time now. I don't know. Love him or hate him, I think he's got a lot more crazier since he's been in power. I think there's a lot more stuff coming out about him that I'm starting to think I don't know if I quite like him anymore. But that's a whole different story, really. But what do you guys think up there?
We think the economy's getting better, stronger. We think, and the stock market is at this time while we're doing this interview. The stock market is very strong right now. Real estate is very healthy here. Interest rates are still relatively low, although there's going to be adjustments to that very soon here in the United States. But our real estate, our unemployment is low. We're pretty healthy right now, and we think it's going to get better actually. Whatever you feel about the new president, he's very business oriented.
Absolutely.
And we are the culture of the United States is free enterprise. It's that's our God here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things I thought that America really needs, somebody in power who's got the business mindset as well, because he really can make America great again. Or I feel there's a good chance of it. So
what do you mean? What do you mean great again?
Well, I've been over to America. I love America. It's a great place. But have you been over here?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I love the UK. I go. My daughter went to school there. I have very good friends there. I've been there. Yes, it's great. Lovely weather usually too.
Yeah, not as nice as over there. Yeah, and the beach is definitely not as good. Okay, good. So a lot of people as well talk about scaling this property business we're involved in. What's your thoughts on the scalability? Because I know there's a lot of conflicting information out there. People say, "Oh, you can go and live on a beach, work there for 2 hours a week and make loads of money doing lease purchasing, getting everyone to do the work for you." But I'm a big believer in doing a lot of the work myself, as in the calls, all the other stuff, the marketing things and stuff. You can systemize and leverage that stuff. But on the phones, I like doing the phone calls and stuff like that. What's your kind of? I know you're obviously a big fan of being on the phones as well. But what's your kind of take on the whole 4-hour work week kind of living and all that kind of stuff?
Tim Ferriss's book, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think it's bullshit.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you
okay, and it's okay to disagree with me. I don't know. I know a lot of very successful, very wealthy people, and I don't know one person who didn't make it by busting their ass. Okay, you do not get rich quick. You get wealthy slowly by working on You work a lot of hours. Eventually, it gets easier. You make the money. You pay off your bills. You have this ability to take it a little easier if you want. But that's not in my DNA. I could have retired 17, 18 years ago, easily. Okay, I am completely debt-free, mortgage-free. My kids' college is paid for. My retirement, my medical is all paid for. We're set for life thanks to this wonderful business. It didn't happen on a 4-hour work week, and I think that book is really misleading people. I think the whole scale of, boy, you ask a good question. The whole scalability thing is a lot
Yeah,
of nonsense for neophytes. For new people getting in this business, you've got to pay your dues. You've got to get experience and get seasoned. You've got to learn sales. You've got to learn marketing. And marketing changes every day in this country. We're getting new applications, new technology. You cannot
yeah,
scale this business by handing over your sales, marketing to people from third world countries. Most people I know who try scalabilities die broke.
yeah,
I
sure.
don't have an opinion on this subject. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, it was quite key to. It's a good point you mentioned about the 4-hour work week and some of your insights into that. I mean, that book in general, like you say, there's a lot of it. It's just is fluff talk. We all know it takes a lot of time and effort, this business, and you have got to pay your dues. You're right. My first year of trading was really really hard going, ridiculous hours every single week, just putting the time and effort in because when your back's against the wall, you've really got to succeed because you don't have a choice. But too many people in this business, there's lots of people they think that it's just going to come to them. You've got to be hitting the phones. You've got to be, and it's the mindset side as well. I mean, I must admit I've been working a lot on my mindset over the past couple of years. Certain books, psycho cybernetics, that type of thing. Those types of books, very very good books because I know you Americans are very positive people, but the UK has there's lots of people very sceptical about certain things, and I think there's a key difference there between the types of personalities and things like that. But so the Americans are go-getters, and a lot of English people can complain about stuff. So you've got to really, to be successful in any business, you've really got to push hard and just focus on what you want, haven't you? And as you say, it gets easier over time. I've noticed it's really got a lot easier for me because it's front end loaded. Once you start building your property portfolio, the cash flow comes in, stuff starts to compound, doesn't it? And you can take it a little bit easier, take your foot off the gas, and just doing, 4 or 5 deals a month, it puts you into good numbers anyway. But you can become very complacent in this business anyway because the revenues are particularly quite good. I know your background, your corporate background, so you're probably used to quite good money. But I'm a carpenter by trade, so my revenue was it was hard going. I was used to hard graft physically anyway, so it was just slightly different. Just means I'm sat on my backside now, having to do phone calls and hammer the phone calls and put deals together as well. But yeah, you raised some good points there about the scalability side. I think people.
You have a couple entrepreneurs over there. There's one gentleman I know he's started a few businesses, Sir Richard Branson. You got go-getters there. My God, you guys really you gave us, we get a lot of what we have here from you guys. You are entrepreneurial. You believe in free enterprise just like we do. Same thing. We just have this language difficulty thing, but other than that, we're basically the same people from the same culture. My thing is though, you cannot delegate. We need 3 things to be successful in this business. Okay, first of all, you need the strategies, whether it's lease purchase, subject to, fixer-uppers, whatever you do. That's number 1, and most people spend a lot of money on education. Number 2, you need marketing. This is where real estate is in the Stone Age right now. We're still talking about mailing letters and using the post office, which is absurd because I don't know any 30-year-old or younger who goes to the post office anymore when they have an iPhone or an Android. Okay, we do. Okay.
Well, I don't know. I kind of disagree. Well, in the UK, the marketing we use, it does work for us as a direct mail, but I mean, you in the States, it probably does differ slightly, does it, over there?
No, it doesn't. It's bullshit. Nobody under the age of 30 is going to the post box or the mailbox anymore. Everybody is walking around. How many times a day do you go to how many times a week or a month does a young person go to the post office? Never. Or they got to when my kids get a package that I send them, I've got to text them first to go there to pick it up because they don't check their mail. They do everything online, banking, communication, bills, everything is done through this lovely handheld device we call an iPhone now. Okay, so most people use their phone 30 to 60 times a day. They don't go to the post office. So why aren't we marketing and communicating through this wonderful digital device? And in real estate, very few people are doing that like I'm doing it. And I get all my leads for free. I get all the leads for properties, for new clients and investors for free. So marketing, we're in the Stone Age right now, and there's too many gurus teaching too many old-fashioned signs and things like that. There's somebody right now in the UK who wants to move from Sheffield to London, and what are they going to do? Buy a newspaper, read a magazine, or go to the post office, or go to Google? They're going to go they're going to go to Google. The third thing we all need, which why most people fail. 99% of the people who get in this business fail dreadfully after spending a lot of money. You don't mind me telling the truth, or should I lie?
Hey, go for it.
Okay, the truth is they suck at sales. They're horrible at sales. No one ever taught them how to speak to people, how to ask questions, how to stroke, how to nurture, how to get information and commitment in one phone call in just a few minutes. So we've got to, I'm trying to push a little revolution in this business based on my own experiences. And so get us out of the Stone Age of this business and learn sales, because I love seeing people succeed. I love seeing my students succeed who I teach the gut sales method to.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox now.
I think it's interesting. I mean, a lot of the sales and marketing stuff, there's, now Facebook, the cost to advertise on Facebook is significantly cheaper than Google, for example.
You know how much it costs YouTube?
YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube. I have 550. Yeah. I have 550 instructional. Some of them are even humorous videos on YouTube. They cost me zero. Guess who owns YouTube?
I don't know.
Google. Google owns YouTube. So the number one web page in the world is Google. Guess who's number two? YouTube.
YouTube.
The number two web page in the world. It changes places with Facebook. Okay, right. Facebook and YouTube change places. Facebook, if you want to call it strict social media, is probably number one in the world. Google is more of a search engine, and YouTube is a video. But they all do the same thing, basically, if you know how to utilize them and put contemporary information in those platforms.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. Well, I like some of your takes on the marketing side. I mean, there's some great takeaways there. I mean, exploring, like you say, everyone has their iPhones these days. We do a lot of text marketing, things like that. All our leads that come in, emails go into an email funnel, and the text go into a text funnel, and they're just systematically texted or followed up on. And the follow-up process, like you say, we're all big fans of following up. And every few weeks we're on that phone just following them up, because circumstances change. So when you speak to people now, they might not necessarily be motivated. Next week the cat might have died, so you phone them back up next week. Oh, your cat died. All right, brilliant. You need to move now. So, and these are the people we're finding by just following up and utilising some of the systems. But
I virtually attract my customers.
You attract all your customers.
I virtually attract my customers. My customers, I get warm calls and communications every day. They call me, they text me, they email me. I virtually attract them based on my marketing. My whole marketing mantra is on that banner behind me. Do you give good phone? Yeah. I think we have to set up marketing where people are attracted or interested. You called me for what reason? Well, how did you discover Claude Diamond today?
YouTube.
Yeah. Guess what? Yeah. There's someone today who wants to get into a house, sell a house, invest in a house. They're going to watch a YouTube video. They're going to then check me out on Facebook or go somewhere to my webpage. They're going to then give me some information on my landing page. I'm going to communicate with them and send them something for free. Then I'm going to send them a link to have a few free conversation with me, a free training session, or they're going to pick up the phone, be very daring, and call me. If I speak, the bottom line is, are you speaking to enough people today so you can go to the Claude Diamond or David France National Bank?
Yeah.
We have to, and today everybody we are the walk. Have you gone to an airport lately? We all look like the Walking Dead. Did you guys get that show yet? Okay, we're walking around here. We walk like zombies here with these little phones in front of us or
Yeah.
iPads.
Everyone's always on the phone, aren't they? And Facebook's revolutionised things, I find, as well. Especially here in the UK, everybody's on every single day. People are on Facebook. You're on there in the morning, you're on there in the evening. And it's a bit of a vacuum as well. So I find I have to put myself on a bit of a Facebook diet now and again, because you get sucked into this world where you've got to make sure you're planning your time out and effectively, and make sure, like you say, you're attracting these people to come to you, and your phone's going off. Because if your phone's going off and they're coming to you, it puts you in a bit of a higher position as well. Because if you're chasing people all the time, oh, do you want to do a deal? Do you want to do a deal? It just puts you on the back foot all the time, I find. So
we have to be David. We have to be the doctors of real estate, not the used car. We sound like the used car salesman of real estate. I've got a great little deal here, David, but the price goes up on Friday, and you better act now. Does your doctor speak to you like that? When you go to your doctor, David, what does he or she say when you walk in?
Oh, you sit down. Oh, it's been a while since I've been, but when you sit down, they just ask you what the problem is.
What's there, David? Hi, what's the problem? They don't say, "Hey, we're having a special on back surgery. Hop on the table." Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't want your doctor to sound like that. You don't want your barrister, your lawyer to. What do you guys call your attorneys over there? Barristers or
solicitors?
Solicitors. Excuse me. Interesting choice of word. But I'm a recovering attorney, so I should know that. But the thing about it is, are we speaking to enough people every day? Are we having good conversations? Most people get rejected very highly. They make a few phone calls, they get rejected, and what happens? They don't make any other phone calls. I'd rather clean the bathroom than make another real estate phone call. We have to change not only our mindset that we're helping people and that we have a right to ask these questions. Confidence is a big thing in this business, but we have to have a system. I teach a system. A 3 simple step system. My whole premise is to teach the guts sales method, great, unorthodox techniques of sales and success. So we have good conversations, we have a lot of fun, and we go to the bank more often. That's what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the approach as well. And you've got a no BS approach to this business, and I love that.
You know who my hero is?
Your hero, is it Max? Is it the mentor?
That very good. I can't. That's usually Max. Max was my mentor, and he was my hero, and he was my greatest. I would be cleaning a Slurpee machine right now in the 7-Eleven if it wasn't for him. My hero is really a character. It's Popeye.
Oh yeah,
Popeye. You remember? Well, first of all, he ate spinach. He was a vegan. But secondly, what did Popeye say? He said, "I am what I am, and that's all what I am." We can just be ourselves. We don't have to be anybody else. We don't have to read a script. We don't have to sound phony or pretentious. We just have to call up people, say, "Hey, you got a problem? I'm interested in doing a real estate deal today. Can I ask you a few questions? And I'm looking for either price or terms. Why are you selling that lovely home, sir? Or what would you like to see happen? Or tell me, sir, how can we do business today?"
Yeah. I like some of those. And the ones where you can turn frosty leads into warm leads, like that example you give, like where you say, if someone's calling you up and they say, "Oh, you're one of them ruthless property companies going to offer me 50% of the market value of a property."
You're right, sir. Go ahead, we'll role play. I'll role play that. I love that. Go ahead.
If I can offer you full market value for your property, do you think we can do a deal today? That was a classic line of yours.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a great line, is that, and it's really, when you throw it back to them like that and you're asking that question with a question, it stops them in their tracks, and they're like, "Oh, right, okay." So you get into dialogue with them, and then you're asking them. I see it a bit like an onion, really, where you're peeling back the layers and you're getting to the root of this problem with people, and it is good to have these conversations with people, and like you say, you can have fun with it as well. Why shouldn't you have fun? Because we're spending all our time doing this. I mean, how many hours a day do you spend on the phone, would you say, to speak to those 5 people that you speak to every day?
Well, I do. Good question. I get up early. I'm a runner. I love to run on trails and things like that. I also swim every day. That's my joy. I really love that. And then I usually have anywhere from 4 to 10 appointments every day. Monday through Thursday. Friday I kind of slack off a little. But those are appointments of people. I mentor people all over the world. one-on-one. We do role playing. We practice. We make phone calls together. I teach them the gut sales method, but I teach it hands-on through Skype, so they can watch me and that's the way I think people learn, by practicing by hand. I don't think you can learn this business through books, tapes, and motivational speakers who charge you $5,000 to walk on hot coals. I think you learn by working with someone who's done it and has the right to do it. And so so that's the first part of my day. After that, then I usually do some writing. I have several books I've written on lease purchasing and sales and marketing. After that, I do podcasts, and I always do marketing. I do 3 to 5 videos a week usually for YouTube, because that's my marketing program. Or I do live streaming. I do a lot of live streaming on Facebook Live and on Periscope, which is a phenomenal. We have our own networks now. Literally on our iPhone, where we can do live streaming and show people how we do deals, and that gets me phone calls again, social media marketing. Then I usually make my own, I'm working on my own deals, and I work with my wife and 2 people, very low overhead. I don't have offices. I work out of my home. I love working out of home. It's cleaner bathrooms, better coffee, and I love working from home. Low overhead, high profit is how you become a millionaire in this business. It's not a 4-hour work week. I can quit whenever I want. I can take a nap. I can go out to dinner with my lovely girlfriend of 31 years. I can do whatever I want. I'm free. And that's the takeaway word. And I love this business. And when you're passionate about something, you want to do as much as possible with it. So am I ever so the question everybody asks me, are you ever going to retire? Never. Why would you stop? Why would you stop drinking wine? Why would you stop making love to a beautiful woman? Why do you stop anything that you enjoy? This is my passion in life.
Yeah, and your passion comes across in all your videos. You can see that all the time. You just love talking to people and giving that value, really, don't you? You can see that. So yeah,
it's it's great. It's the greatest business in the world, but there's too many people giving the wrong impression that it's get rich quick, that it's easy, and that you can delegate sales to third parties. You have to take responsibility for your own success, for your own life, and you got to give good phone. That is the key. That is the key to this business. How to communicate, negotiate deals. Why are we in business, David? To make money today.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's a few points I just want to. I know we're struggling for time a bit, but
we are struggling. We're 30 minutes over.
So it's going brilliant, because a couple of points are the fact about keeping your overheads low. Again, I'm in an office pod in the garden, and I have very low overheads. We just have small staff members as well, just working virtual assistants, things like that. But again, keeping your overheads very low and not having these big fancy offices and stuff, that's how we can, we're a lot more flexible when the markets change and, things turn against us. And this is why, our strategies and things like that work so well.
It makes financial sense too. Why pay a landlord or rent an office building why not take the money that you would pay and make double payments on your mortgage and take that 20, 30-year mortgage and knock it out in 12, 13 years? Being mortgage free is a principle of success. You're lowering your overhead, you're increasing your profit, and why pay? We spend too much money on too many little things when we could be double paying on our own mortgage and be financially free the rest of our life.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, a lot of people miss that fact. And also, one thing you mentioned as well very quickly was people trying to outsource everything too quickly in this business. I think, like, when you bring negotiators in and things like that, it can really screw up your business. If you haven't spoken and closed loads of deals yourself, then what right do you have to bring somebody else in straight away to close deals? It's impossible, because
it's a waste.
There are hundreds of objections that you come up with sellers all the time, and I know I'm used to hearing them all the time and how you can overcome them, and it's good to overcome them. And again, some of the people I'm working with on a mentoring basis, I come in on 3-way calls, listen to some of the objections that these sellers have, and I actually get a buzz off. Like, I did one the other day, and the guy threw 10 objections at me. He said, well, what happens if he stops paying me every month? And what happens if this happens? What if that happens? I said, well, what do you want to see happen? And then you could just throw it back to them. So you're asking that question with a question, and you don't mean it as a know-it-all, because you don't always know it all. And sometimes you can say that to them. Look, I can't guarantee anything. You know, if you want to guarantee, you buy a toaster, don't you? But you can't guarantee anything in this business. And the bottom line is, if they've got a genuine problem and you can help them with that, and you put the solution there, then usually they take it. So that's one of the biggest things. But yeah, I know we're out of time now, but it's been absolutely fantastic talking with you today, and I really appreciate it. I'm sorry about the time difference.
Oh, don't worry about it. I had my good coffee. You know, the one thing you said, I have to comment on it. When I get objections, I see objections as closing opportunities, as money. Someone gives me an objection. If I can, I'll turn it around into a question. I'll say, well, David, if I could solve that problem, if we could find a solution for that problem, would you and I what would happen next? Would you and I be able to consummate this deal? Could we do business today if we could solve that problem? Objections and stalls to other people are or make them defensive and argumentative, which does not enhance the selling environment. But when you go to somebody who has a problem and you turn that problem and say, if we could solve it, could we move forward today? And right away, you're in control, and they're on the defensive because now they have to make a commitment or backpedal with another stall or an objection. I'd like to end on a high note today. Do you know my definition of success?
Giving good phone?
No, that's a good one. My definition of success, and I say this quite a bit when I speak in front of audiences, is that you could take everything that I've worked a lifetime for, cars, houses, money, securities, everything away, strip me naked, bad visual, and give me to a phone. Let me start from zero. Keep me healthy, keep me intelligent, and a good salesman today. Good phone, as you would say. And I will be a 1%er. I will be back on top in 30 days or less. See, it's not about the accumulation of wealth. It's about the freedom to know that you could lose it and make it back all over again. Study any great entrepreneur, and they've all had failures. Why? Because they're willing, they're reasonable risk takers. They're willing to learn from their experiences and build on that. So if it's all about the freedom to know that you could lose everything and just get me to I almost would relish the challenge, actually, because I could get me to a phone again, and I will be back on top. I will be doing deals left and right because I know how to give good phone. David, thank you. This was this was a fast-moving, fun interview, man.
Brilliant. Yeah, thanks for your time, Claude. I really appreciate that. And yeah, thanks for your time. All right. So I guess people can obviously put you into YouTube. They can find you on there.
You have the most intelligent audience in the world. All I got to do is put in Claude Diamond in Google. They'll find me on YouTube. They'll find my webpage, which is claudediamond.com. They can call me on Skype. I'm the easiest guy in the world to find. I answer my own phone. And thank you so much for this again. This was great, man.
Claude. Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers. That's a wrap, baby.
That was great. Yeah, cheers for that, Claude. Really appreciate that. It was fantastic. It goes quick though, that 40 minutes.
You know, it's fun when you do interviews like this. You asked very good questions, by the way.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm not. I don't do these very often, as you can probably tell. But
no,
I've seen a lot of it. I saw the one you did with Joshua Smith. Fantastic, interview, and you guys over there, really high regarded. You and Joe McCall as well, because I've seen a lot of his stuff as well. It's interesting though. I should have brought this up on the interview, but how his model is very different to yours in the sense.
Whose model? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I think you just dropped down there.
No, I'm here.
All right. Okay. Yeah.